Your party dashes in from the streets at the entrance of the courtyard of the manor itself. That's when the lightning strikes. The shadows give way for a moment. And at the top of the stairs, you see an ogre magi already completing the art.
What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming.
Shut up and sit down.
So we are done with our Dungeons & Dragons campaign for the moment. And now that Speaker of the Dream is over, we're taking a break. Well, now that it's really over, I mean, halfway through the adventure, spoiler alert, halfway through the module, it literally tells you to lie to your players and tell them that the adventure is over. That's for the surprise factor coming up, everything that's happening after that point. That worked good, and we took a break, and we played a little more D&D, but with some evil characters. But now Bryndenford is over. And we're going to take a little break and play some Star Wars RPG, and I know the group has been waiting for this. They've loved the D&D game, but they've been so anticipating playing some Rebel-era Star Wars. And I'm so happy that I can bring that to the players finally. But let's get back to Dungeons & Dragons. It was a tight finish there at the end. We had a massive shakeup here in the gaming group, losing 4 players. And you know what? I really don't feel like getting into it. Me and the surviving players have had our discussions about what happened and how things were reacted to. But I maintain certain things in my group. And one of those things is that you have to be communicative. You have to be able to talk. When I, the DM, is sending out texts during the week that are important to the game, it's not like I'm sending TikTok cat videos or something. I expect answers. And I don't expect answers to wait until game day. There's a reason why I'm texting you now. And the other thing is constant cancellations at the last minute. But we don't have to deal with that anymore. And I'm not getting into it any deeper because we put an end to it and we got new players. But it did disrupt the end of Bryndenford. I was fighting so hard to get those last 2 games played. It was like I was hitting my head against a brick wall. Well, with the help of new players, I was able to finally bring to conclusion the Speaker of the Dreams adventure that takes place in the town of Bryndenford. And it was an epic finish, absolutely epic ending, battle with the Mind Flayer, and I'm very, very proud that the players were able to save the life of the mind-controlled Baron and not killing him. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say that. Without unaliving him. I really don't see what the difference is, why I'm allowed to say one and not the other. Anyway, we did make sure to not unalive him, and the party was rewarded even more so because of that. This is an opportunity where a DM can give rewards to a player outside of gold coins, gems, and magical items. And what I'm talking about is the town is so thankful that it was literally saved from the destructive power of the Mind Flayer. The Baron, who himself is a lawful and good-minded person, was very thankful for being saved, himself personally in the town, and therefore has gifted the group the remains of the old tower. So this is going to be their guild hall. This is really exciting. Being able to gift the players things that are important to them, but aren't gold, aren't XP, and doesn't have anything to do with magic items. This is an opportunity now for the players to settle down in Bryndenford, make a home, and stop being murder hobos. And now just being mansion murderers? But it is a very good opportunity. And the next adventure, when we get back to D&D, is being set in Greyhawk. So I'm going to have more opportunity to use my city setups and streets. Until then, we are taking a break and playing Star Wars. I'm very looking forward to this. And then getting back to Dungeons and Dragons. And I also have enough dedicated players right now who are happy to make and keep schedules and are happy to contact me when things happen. We're probably going to be dividing it into 2 groups. It looks like there's enough players that can play 2 or 3 times a month. And then I have a couple of players that can only play 1 time a month. So we're going to be dividing up the regular group and continuing the D&D with the main time period. You know, players that can play 2 or 3 times a month. That's going to be our D&D game. But for the one time, we're going to be moving into doing some 2nd edition Mutants and Masterminds. If you don't know that, it is a superhero role-playing game. And I'm also highly looking forward to bringing you videos about that game system as well. So, what to look forward to? Some new players, some new 20-sided warriors. Greg has already joined us. We got Scott and Sean in the wing that are going to be joining us. Both of them are getting over an illness at this moment. Probably will be joining us next session moving forward. Greg also has a cousin that is going to be introduced to the group. And we're going to see about him becoming a regular player also. And that's basically keeping me and Ron as the 2 originals. Everyone else has stepped away because of time, or they just, to use their own words, have better things to do. So, all is fair in D&D. So with the new players, some new game systems, continuing the regular game system, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think this is a great opportunity for the group to grow. That's exactly what's happening. Much like the Great Fire of London in 1666, things get razed to the ground only to be reborn, regrown, and rebuilt stronger and better than before. There are a few other games in the system that I have here that I would like to throw at the players at some time down the future. Most of them I'm thinking would be kind of like one-shot things. Paranoia. I'd love the gang to experience that. I would love to use the D20 modern/future rules to do a updated version of Star Frontiers. I even have the 3-part Volturnus module series. I think would be excellent to do. I would also like to do the D20 modern/future system to an updated Gamma World. Yeah. You don't know Gamma World? In the height of TSR's greatness. So many good board games. They did about board games. I'm talking about role-playing games came out. Star Frontiers being a high sci-fi game, similar to Star Trek or Star Wars, while Gamma World was mutants, radiation, apocalyptic survival. Fun. There's also something else that I have that's been brought to my attention in Facebook group, one of the Facebook D&D groups I'm a part of, Dungeons and Dragons for Old Dudes, was recently talking about the Buck Rogers in the 25th Century role-playing game by TSR. I have that. I could run that. Yeah, I could. So, I do. I want to see some more short-term RPGs hit the table for a couple of sessions and be able to make some good fun videos about and talk about these games that really need attention. No matter how old they are, they really do. They need some good attention. So let me know what you think about some of the role-playing games coming down the pipeline. What I have, what you'd like to see. I'm not sure about Eberron. That's going to be hard to translate for tabletop stuff. And you know how I love my tabletops. But then again, the Mutants and Masterminds I'm not doing tabletop stuff for. Maybe by next year, I just got to get a few things. There's no big rush for it. You know, whenever it happens, it happens. So maybe next year you'll start to see some builds for that. Maybe. But that's going to be like Theater of the Mind stuff. So when you see the videos for that, there's not going to be great big city builds. Yet. If anyone wants to donate anything, let me know. Yeah, those are the games. Phase rip. Does that mean anything to anyone? Phase Rip. You know, a couple of you know what I'm talking about. The old TSR Marvel Superheroes game. And I would love to even play that in an 80s setting. Alright, so the gang is getting over here in a couple of hours. I'll play some Star Wars. I'm ready for this. Got everything all set up here. Got the town. I figure it's a low-tech town. It's a farming planet. So some of the D&D town stuff works perfect for that. But then again, I also make sure that, you know, I got Star Wars stuff here too. I got it. All right, so tune in next week and join us again for another Tales from the Table, my friends. I'm your buddy Big John and G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and I am out of here.